Ravi had been driving his yellow taxi through the streets of Bengaluru for over 15 years. His cab was old, with faded paint and a broken radio, but it was his second home. The city never really slept, but Ravi's day began before even the sun rose. He started the engine at 4:30 a.m. every morning, not out of habit, but out of necessity. He wasn't just a taxi driver. He was a husband to Meena, who had been unwell since the birth of their daughter, and a father to little Kavya, a 10-year-old who dreamed of becoming a teacher. His income didn't just run a home, it carried hopes, dreams, and prayers. Each ride Ravi picked up wasn't just a passenger, but a story. Some were funny, some tragic, some silent, but he drove through them all with patience, kindness, and a warm smile. One morning, it had rained all night, and the roads were still soaked. Ravi picked up an elderly man from Majestic Railway Station. The man wore a simple white kurta, and carried nothing but an old leather bag. "Where to, sir?" Ravi asked. The man gave an address in Indiranagar and got in. The drive was long, and silence filled the cab. After a while, the man spoke. "You always start this early?" Ravi smiled. "Yes, sir. My daughter goes to school at 8. I try to make enough by then to buy vegetables and maybe some milk. After that, more trips until dinner." The man nodded and looked out. It must be hard. Ravi didn't answer. He had heard that sentence many times. But he always replied the same way. "It's harder to sit at home and watch your family suffer." When they reached the destination, the man paused before stepping out. "You remind me of my son. He was a hard worker too. Life didn't give him much, but he gave everything he had. People like you keep the world running." Ravi smiled. "Thank you, sir." He didn't think much about the conversation. He had heard kind words before. But something about that man felt different. At home, Meena's medicines were expensive. Ravi was behind on rent. Kavya needed a new pair of shoes, but Ravi kept repairing her old ones. Yet, not once did he show his struggle to her. He made her laugh with silly jokes, helped with her homework when he could, and always saved enough to bring her a packet of chocolate biscuits once a week. One day, his cab broke down in the middle of a traffic signal. Horns blared, people cursed, a police officer threatened to fine him. Ravi apologized, pushed the car to the side, and fixed it with the help of a roadside mechanic. That night, instead of dinner, he drank water and pretended to be full when his daughter offered him her last chapati. A few days later, Ravi picked up a young woman late at night. She had missed her cab, and the app showed no rides available. He saw her standing outside a tech park in Whitefield, worried and alone. "Ma'am, taxi, I can drop you safely." She hesitated, but agreed. During the ride, she asked about his life. Most passengers didn't care, but she listened. She asked about Meena, about Kavya, about how many hours he worked. Before getting down, she said, "Uncle, your story should be heard. You're a hero, you know." Ravi laughed. "I'm just a father." 2 days later, that same woman wrote a long post on social media about her ride with Ravi. She called him the real hero of Bengaluru. The post went viral. Within 48 hours, local journalists came to interview him. A small video was uploaded to YouTube. People started sharing his story. Donations started pouring in. One morning, Ravi received a courier. Inside was an envelope with no sender's name. There were 3 things inside. 1. A letter saying, "For the man who drives not for the city, but for his family." Kavya's education is now fully sponsored till college. Meena's treatment will be taken care of. Keep driving, only if it makes you happy, not because you're forced to. 2. A check with enough money to clear all debts. 3. A school admission letter from one of the best private schools in the city, for Kavya. Ravi stood speechless. He showed Meena the letter. She cried. Kavya hugged her father and said, "Papa, can I become a big teacher now?" Ravi only nodded. He didn't know what to say. For the first time in years, he felt light. Not because his work had lessened, but because his heart wasn't carrying the weight alone anymore. 1 year passed. Meena's health had improved. Kavya was now in grade 6 at a new school, doing well and helping others with her books. Ravi still drove his taxi. Not as much, but enough to keep moving. When people recognized him, they smiled. Some requested selfies. He had become a silent symbol of love, struggle, and hope. One evening, someone asked him, "Now that you're